Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Welcome to the Thursday evening satsang. On Thursday evening satsang, we actually do manana on two verses of Guru Vacha Kovai, which have been randomly chosen, and we will do manana on the first. We'll read the first verse, do manana on that, and do self-enquiry for another 10 minutes. After that, we will read the second verse and do manana on that. Again, follow that up with another 10 minutes of self-inquiry. After that, closing remarks by Ujwal and Jagadeesh. So let's see the first verse that has been chosen for us. The first verse chosen for us is verse number 403. Just as the ball of iron heated in a fire glows as a mass of fire by virtue of that heating process, when the jiva that is polluted by the three defilements is heated in the purifying fire of Atma Vichara, it will shine as Atma Swarupa itself. A very important aspect of if you want to shape something, if there is a iron ball, if you want to shape it, you put it in a particular shape. What do? What does the blacksmith or whoever it is who deals with iron, what does he do? First, he heats it up. Then only you can mold it in a particular way. But when you heat it up, what happens? It shines brightly. Many would have seen the shining brightly of the ball of iron heated in fire, glows as a mass of fire by virtue of that heating process. So in this verse, they're talking about the glowing of the iron. So it's just the heating process. The heating process is what? Actually, you are providing heat at a particular area of the iron ball, because of which the ball gets heated up and then it shines, it glows. So say similarly what happens, we as jivas, what happens is we have our own impurities. Impurities may be of different sorts, but here it talks about three impurities. Bhagavan talks about, Mudra talks about three impurities in Guru Vacha Kovai. The first one is ego, anava, which is ego. We know all the challenges we have with ego. Second is karma, and third is maya. So these are the three defilements. So how do we get rid of this? By doing self-inquiry. It's like that iron ball, when it is heated up, it glows. So how can you glow? How can the self, which is self-luminous, it is self-luminous, the self is self-luminous, it can glow. But how can you make it glow? If you remove the impurities. So how do you remove the impurities? By doing self-inquiry. It says that when the jiva that is polluted by the three defilements is heated in the purifying fire of Atma Vichara. The Atma Vichara is a purifying, because what happens? Every time you inquire, who am I? It is like concentrated heating up. It's like purifying, heated in the purifying fire of Atma Vichara. It's like a fire. Is Atma Swarupa itself. All the impurities will go away. Then what will happen? So if you want to have water which is dirty, then what do? You will heat it up. When you heat up the water, then what happens? All the impurities go away. And you have clean drinking water. It's similar to that. If you actually do self-inquiry, then what happens is these three defilements of ego, karma, and maya will vanish. Slowly will vanish. And then you will shine as of what? The self. Self that you already are, always. Only thing is these defilements, these impurities have not been able to, because of which you are not able to see who you really are. So by doing Atma Vichara, you will be able to experience who you are. You will shine as the Atma Swarupa, like that ball of iron. So let us do self-inquiry, Bhagavan says. Let's do self-inquiry for the next 10 minutes. Whenever a thought comes and it's trying to add more impurities into the self, what you need to do is inquire. When you inquire, who am I? For whom is this thought? For me, who am I? Then what happens is you will be actually, what he says is heated in the purifying fire of Atma Vichara. So once you keep doing that, then you will be experiencing who you really are. So then let's do that for the next 10 minutes. Ujwal, can you keep the time? Thank you.
Shri Ramanaya.
Namo Ramana. We'll go to the next verse that has been chosen for us. That is verse number 603. One minute. The verse goes like this. What can we say about the understanding of those who, not at all desiring to know thoroughly in what way do we exist today? What can we say about the understanding of those who, not at all desiring to know thoroughly in what way do we exist today, instead perturb themselves by thinking of their condition before they were born and after they died? Bhagwan, just a sorry. So let's do banana on this. What Bhagwan is trying to say, if you ask somebody, if you ask somebody, what's the first thing that comes? What will happen when I die? First of all, everybody believes, and many of us have gone to Shamshan Ghat. Everybody believes when you go to the Shamshan Ghat, everybody else will die, but you will not die. I am not going to die. Everybody else will die. That's the first thing that comes to your mind. But Bhagavan says that what can we say about the understanding of those who not at all desiring to know thoroughly in what way do we exist today? How are you living today? See, when is life happening? Life is happening now. Life is happening today. If life is happening today and now, then what does it matter? Because Bhagwan, told his mother, based on prarabdha, whatever is to happen will happen, whatever is not to happen will not happen. Oh, that means prarabdha, my previous life. I must get to know what was I in my previous life. Does it matter? It really doesn't matter. And what am I going to be in my next life? Again, does not matter. What it matters is here and now. If life is happening now, then what are you interested in? So he says, Murugana writes beautifully, what can we say about the understanding of those who are not at all desiring to know thoroughly in what way do we exist today? Instead, perturb themselves by thinking of their condition before they were born and after they died. So anybody will say, oh, I will go to hell or I will go to heaven. I will not take another birth. Somebody dies, what they say, especially the spiritual people. Oh, where did the jiva leave the body from? To the eyes, to the mouth, to the nose, or through the sahasra. From where? All these spiritual people think about all these things. Where did the jiva leave, atma leave that body? Then we will know whether there is another janma for that body or not. It really doesn't matter whether it was how the jiva left the body. What matters is here and now. At this point of time, when you have an opportunity to get rid of your impurities and understand who you really are. If Bhagavan says Hridaya Kuhara Madhye Kevalam Brahma Matram, if Bhagavan says in the cave of your heart, I'm sitting there. Bhagavan is saying that I'm sitting there in the cave of your heart. So if God is saying He's sitting there, why don't we make an effort to know where He is and how He is? So it's a basic thing. It's if you have lost your watch, then what you do? You go about searching for it and try to find that watch. And this is the person who's sitting inside your heart, the cave of your heart, runs the whole universe. Whole universe he runs. Not this body only, he runs the whole universe. So won't you be interested, each one of us, be interested to know who this person is? How does he look like? How does he feel? Anything like that. Wouldn't it be a basic thing that each one of us would do? No, we do not want it. We want to go into the materialistic world. We do not want God. We want the toys of God. The God has given all these toys, his mobile, his cars, all these are toys. It's like a child. When you give a child with various toys, then what it does, it makes sound with it. And it feels happy. That's what happens to each one of us. God gives us these little toys. And you would think, oh, I'm feeling very happy. I've got a car, I've got a mobile, I'm going on a holiday. All these are all toys. And you feel very, very happy. They do not give you permanent happiness. Happiness is your nature. If God is sitting in your heart, the cave of your heart, then where is happiness? Happiness is there. So how do you get there? By doing self-inquiry. When can you do self-inquiry? You can't do it in the past. Past is already gone. That moment has gone. You cannot do it in the future. In the future, you do not know what's going to happen in the future. So when can you do self-inquiry? You can do self-inquiry only now. So when you do self-inquiry now, then what happens? You are not worried about the past. And you're not worried about the future at all. See, this is what self-inquiry does. It quietens your mind, which is running helter-skelter here, there, what's going to happen here, what's going to happen there. All that story will quieten down. When the story quietens down, then what happens? You will realize, oh, I am only building these stories in my mind. What is going to happen in the future? Oh, why did I do this in the past? If I had done something different in the past, then my future would have been different. Bhagavan says, no. It is life is now, 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 now. Every moment is now. Every moment is an opportunity to do self-inquiry. Find out who you are. If God is sitting with me every moment, He's with me all the time. I should find out who He is and do self-inquiry. When you do self-inquiry, what happens? His mind, which is going out to the senses, with Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva, and all these world of Nama and Rupa is being shown up, and you believing it's all true by inquiring into the first person, that's the I. By inquiring into that fellow will become quiet. But another I will come. Yaham Mahamiti Sakshat Atma Rupena Bhati. Bhagavan says, as you keep doing self-inquiry, you will have experience of another I. That's the God force, which will take you to the absolute silence. When there's silence within, there is silence without. The nature of God is stillness. So all that we are trying to do in our sadhana is what? Is drop the falsity. If we're able to drop the veiling, the falsity, then what happens? We realize who we really are. When we realize who we really are, then the game is over. Atma Nishtha, you become Atma Nishtha. When you know that whatever is within you is without you, everything is only the self, Then whatever, imagine you are the king of the whole universe. Will you go and beg to somebody's house and say, hey, give me something? Just think about it. If you're the king of the whole universe as you are the owner, then you won't go to ask anybody, please give me something, because everything is yours only. So that's what happens in self-inquiry. As we keep going inwards, going deeper and deeper, we realize we are the self is within, and the same self is without. So all this is only the self. Ishavasam, idam sarvam. Everything is only the self. Then what happens? Then you become quiet. You become still. That's what all of us will do in the next 10 minutes. Whenever a thought comes, ask, for whom is this thought? For me, who am I? Can you kindly, Ujwal, can you keep kindly keep the timing for 10 minutes, please? Okay, we'll start the self-inquiry now from now, and we will, after 10 minutes, we will stop. Thank you.
Namo Bhagavate Shri Ramanaya.
Thank you. We request Ujwal Jagadeesh to kindly give his closing comments, please.
Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Ramanaya. Hridaya Kuhara Madhye Kevalam Brahma Matram Yahamaham Sakshat Atmarupena Bhati Hridhi Vishamanasa Swam Chinvata Majjatava Pavana Chalana Rodhat Atmanishto Bhavatvam. Today's verse, the first verse, spoke about the iron ball. When it comes in contact with fire, it glows like the fire itself, and all the impurities are burned and it vanishes, and the iron ball itself becomes the fire, which is the self. And the fire which is referred to here is the self-enquiry. Usually when the iron ore is taken, and from that we have to extract the iron, what is done is it is heated in a furnace. When it is heated in the furnace, the iron has this particular melting point. At that point, the iron alone melts, and that the melted iron flows into a different chamber where it is segregated from the rest of the material, which is the rock and the other mud particles, which does not melt at that point. So this is the way that how the iron is extracted. The pure iron is extracted from the iron ore. Similarly, when our mind is actually like a iron ore which is filled with this defilement called the ego, the karma and the vasanas, which is referred to. And when we start the self-enquiry, all these impurities are questioned. Their very existence is shaken. When we question, who am I? The ego is shaken. And the karmas, which is actually related only to this body, this limited identity, it is shaken. If I am not the body, for whom is this karma? Is the question that comes. And we are free from the karma because we are not the body. When we inquire into our own true nature, then all the impurities, they just vanish. And we become one with the self, which is the fire of knowledge. I remember the instance of mother getting liberated at Skandashram. On her last day, Bhagavan had her sleeping on his lap, and his left hand on mother's head and the right hand on her spiritual heart. And he was giving an ongoing commentary saying that Amma is undergoing the various vasanas, all the seeds of vasanas which is there. She is experiencing all those vasanas, the vasanas of many lifetimes here in these few moments, and all the vasanas are abiding into the self, and they are all getting burnt and disappearing in the self. So that is the experience. And once all the vasanas were completely annihilated, mother was absorbed in the self. And when the devotees came and reported, Bhagavan, Amma has left us, Amma is dead, Bhagavan corrected, no, Amma is not dead. Amma has been absorbed. And when we are absorbed in the self, there is no impurity. We become pure. So Bhagavan told, there is no impurity. We can all have the dinner. Usually when somebody dies, it is referred to as impurity. So we should not enter the puja room. We should not do anything sacred. And usually we don't even enter the kitchen and cook the food or eat the food. But Bhagavan told there's no impurity. Mother has been absorbed. So we can all have dinner. So all the devotees and Bhagavan had dinner. And Mother was shining like a yogini. Just like how the iron ball, when it comes in touch with that fire of the self, it glows like the self. The mother was glowing like a yogini, and that body was brought down near Pali Tirtham, and a samadhi was made for her, and the Matrabhuteshwara Linga was established. Such is the glory of Bhagavan. Bhagavan, just like how he had kept his hand on mother's head and the heart, he is also ever keeping our, whenever we are doing self-enquiry, Bhagavan's hand is on our head and is on our chest. And when we question, when the thought arises, when we are questioning for whom is this thought, the answer is for me. And when we turn our attention towards the self with the question, who am I? It is Sri Bhagavan's hand on our heart. He is making us, the thought which is in the head, he is making it turn towards the self. And when we continue with this self-enquiry relentlessly, persistently, with great joy and with great sincerity, then all these thoughts, which are actually the vasanas, which are surfacing, all these impurities which is surfacing as thoughts, they all are annihilated in this fire of self-enquiry. And at what point we will become one with that self, which is the fire of knowledge. And this fire of knowledge, Sadhuvam Swami says, which Nochurana keeps, Swami Nochur Swamiji, Ramanacentre Swamiji keeps telling, Ati Sheetala Paramashivam. He says, the self is a fire which is very, very Sheetala, which is very, very cool and very, very beautiful. We become one with that fire. And the next verse which spoke about the importance of the present. This is the time, Indina Dinave Shubha Dinavu, says Purandara Dasa. This is the time, this is the opportunity given to us by Bhagavan. We don't have to worry about what we were in the last Janma, why are we experiencing all these problems. Maybe this is all the papa that we have done in the last Janma. We don't have to think about that, because this is the opportunity that is given to us. Although the great ones like Kabir says, Lak Chaurasi Phere Phirkar Sundar Narthan Paya. We have already finished 84 lakhs of Janmas, and we have got this beautiful human birth. Just to make us understand that this birth is important. We have got this with great difficulty, so we should not lose this opportunity. And we don't have to think about, oh, this Janma, I have not got this great titiksha. We don't have that mumukshatva. I don't have such desire this Janma. I'll wait for next Janma. Maybe next Janma I'll have more of mumukshatva. Then the great one says, don't waste time. Whatever mumukshatva you have right now, it's enough. You use that mumukshatva to continue your sadhana. And the great one says 3 things are very, very rare. One is the human birth, and one is to have this desire for self-knowledge, that is mumukshatva, and to have contact with a great guru. We may wonder, we are born in a time where Bhagavan is not there with us. The living presence of Bhagavan is not there with us. You don't have to think anything like that. Bhagavan is ever present. He is ever guiding us. He is the self which is shining in all beings. He is guiding us every moment. Understand that the grace is already there. Bhagavan's grace is in the beginning, is in the middle, is in the end. Remember that the grace is there and continue the sadhana now, today. Do not wait for the opportunity which is going to come later. Today is an opportunity given by Bhagavan. So, right now, turn towards the self and do the sadhana with great joy, feeling gratitude to whatever sadhana we are able to do. Be happy with that and continue the same sadhana. The most important thing in the sadhana, the great one says, is nirantatvam. It's not that how much sadhana you do 10 hours of sadhana or you do only 5 minutes of sadhana. Whatever sadhana you do, it has to be continuous. There should be a regularity in the sadhana. If we continue the sadhana with that same regularity and sincerity, the self is ever available. Self is ever attained. It is only that we have to drop the veil of the ignorance that we are holding on to in between our realization, where through sadhana this veil slowly disappears and the self reveals by itself when we are ripe to experience the self. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya.
Namo Ramana, thank you as well. I request Vaibhav ji to kindly chant the Stotra and let us all do manana on who is the listener when Vaibhav is chanting. Namo Ramana Vaibhav. Namo Ramana Antara.
नमो रमण भारद्वाज विश्वनाथ विरचितम् श्रीरमण स्तोत्र शतनामावलिः अपार सच्चित् सुखवारिराशे यस्योर्विभात्रम् भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि से नमः सेन जाताय नमः ॐ श्रीरमणाय नमः ॐ गुरवे नमः ॐ अखण्ड संविदाकाराय नमः ॐ महोजसे नमः ॐ कारणोद्भवाय नमः ॐ जगद्धितावताराय नमः ॐ श्रीभूमिनाथस्थलोस्थिताय नमः ॐ पराशरकुलोत्तंसाय नमः ॐ सुन्दरार्यतपःफलाय नमः कमनीयसुचारित्राय नमः सहायवते नमः ॐ शोणाचलमहोलीनमानसाय नमः ॐ स्वर्णहस्तकाय नमः ॐ श्रीमद्वादशान्तमहास्थले लब्धविद्योदयाय नमः ॐ महाशक्तिनिपातेन प्रबुद्धाय नमः ॐ परमार्थविदे नमः ॐ तीव्राय नमः ॐ पितृपदान्वेषिणे नमः ॐ पितृमौलिना पितृमते नमः ॐ पितुरादेशतः शोणशैलं प्राप्ताय नमः ॐ तपोमयाय नमः ॐ उदासीनाय नमः ॐ महायोगिने नमः ॐ महोत्साहाय नमः ॐ कुशाग्रदिये नमः ॐ शान्तसङ्कल्पसंरम्भाय नमः ॐ सुसन्दृशे नमः ॐ सवित्रे नमः ॐ स्थिराय नमः ॐ तपक्षपितसर्वाङ्गाय नमः ॐ पुल्लाम्बुजविलोचनाय नमः ॐ चन्द्रिकासितहासश्रीमण्डितानन्दमण्डलाय नमः ॐ च्यूतवाट्यां समासीनाय नमः ॐ चूणिताखिलविभ्रमाय नमः ॐ वेदवेदान्ततत्त्वज्ञाय नमः ॐ चिन्मुद्रिणे नमः ॐ त्रिगुणातिगाय नमः ॐ विरूपाक्षगुहावासाय नमः ॐ विराजितजलाकृतये नमः ॐ उद्दीप्तनयनाय नमः ॐ पूर्णाय नमः ॐ लचिताचलताण्डवाय नमः ॐ गम्भीराय नमः ॐ परमाचार्याय नमः ॐ सुप्रसन्नाय नमः ॐ अभयप्रदाय नमः ॐ दक्षिणास्य निधाय नमः ॐ धीराय नमः ॐ दक्षिणाभिमुखाय नमः। ॐ स्वराजे नमः। ॐ महर्षये नमः। ॐ भगवते नमः। ॐ ईद्याय नमः। ॐ भूमविद्याविशारदाय नमः। ॐ विमलाय नमः। ॐ दीर्घदर्शिने नमः। ॐ आप्ताय नमः। ॐ ऋजुमार्गप्रदर्शकाय नमः। ॐ समुद्रशे नमः। ॐ सत्यदृशे नमः। ॐ सत्याय नमः। ॐ प्रशान्ताय नमः। ॐ अमितविक्रमाय नमः। ॐ सुकुमाराय नमः। ॐ सदानन्दाय नमः। ॐ मृदुभाषिणे नमः। ॐ दयार्णवाय नमः। ॐ श्रीशोणाचलरिपोतस्कन्दाश्रमनिकेतनाय नमः। ॐ सद्दर्शनोपदेष्ट्रे नमः। ॐ सद्भक्तवृन्दपरिवृताय नमः। ॐ गणेशमुनिभृङ्गेन सेविताम्बृसरोरुहाय नमः। ॐ गीतोपदेशसारादिग्रन्थसञ्चिन्नसंशयाय नमः। ॐ वर्णाश्रममतातीताय नमः। ॐ रसज्ञाय नमः। ॐ सौम्याय नमः। ॐ आत्मवते नमः। ॐ सर्वावनिमतस्थानाम् आराध्याय नमः। ॐ सर्वसद्गुणिने नमः। ॐ आत्मारामाय नमः। ॐ महाभागाय नमः। ॐ मातृमुक्तिविधायकाय नमः। ॐ विनताय नमः। ॐ विनुताय नमः। ॐ विप्राय नमः। ॐ मुनीन्द्राय नमः। ॐ पावकोज्ज्वलाय नमः। ॐ दर्शनातकसंहारिणे नमः। ॐ मौनेन सात्मबोधकाय नमः। ॐ ऋचान्तिकरसान्निध्याय नमः। ॐ स्मरणाद्बन्धमोचकाय नमः। ॐ अन्तस्तिमिरसुण्डांशवे नमः। ॐ संसारार्णवतारकाय नमः। ॐ श्रवणादृशस्तुतिद्रष्टे नमः। ॐ अर्धविद्याप्रकाशकाय नमः। ॐ अविच्युतनिजप्रज्ञाय नमः। ॐ नैसर्गिकमहातपसे नमः। ॐ कमण्डलुधराय नमः। ॐ शूद्रकौपीनवसनाय नमः। ॐ गुहाय नमः। ॐ दण्डपाणये नमः। ॐ कृपापूर्णाय नमः। ॐ भवरोगविषग्वराय नमः। ॐ स्कन्दाय नमः। ॐ देवतमाय नमः। ॐ अमर्त्याय नमः। ॐ सेनान्ये नमः। ॐ पुरुषोत्तमाय नमः। ॐ श्रीरमणभगवते नमः। श्रीरमणाष्टोत्तरशतनामपूजां समर्पयामि। यस्थानोररुणाचलस्य पदयोः स्मृत्याजनं प्राप्यत दिव्यानुग्रहसुप्रवाहविवशस्तादात्म्यभावं गतः निष्ठस्वगभीरनित्यतपसा लोकान् पुनासेकराट् तस्मै श्रीरमणाय ते नम इदम् लोकोत्तरज्योतिषे। ॐ नमो भगवते श्रीरमणाय।
Thank you, Vaibhav. Namo Ramana. Come to the end of the satsang. And Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Thank you for all attending. Thank you, Ujwal.